That's where things stand. Where do you think Trump goes from here now that he's...
Okay, let's get some context. Trump never moves forward until he's crossed every T and dotted every I. And if you read about him and you read his the books about him, he's very careful. It doesn't mean you win every battle because other people have their input to any plan. But he never moves forward unless he's exactly sure that everything that he possibly can cater for has been catered for. And then he moves forward. So he's very careful, very meticulous. And that's why he wins so often, because the opposition rarely has the ability to do it. Let me give you an example. When he was building, I think it was Trump Tower, but he cut the contract. And just like the military planning where you have actions on, he looked at where the potential dangers are. And in one of the clauses, he overpaid the workers to make sure they were well compensated. He did that. That's a smart business move. And then at one point, the union said, "Oh, look, I'm sorry, we've got real internal problems with we're going to have to stop work on your building." And Trump didn't even miss a beat. Within 12 to 24 hours, the whole new workforce arrived and kept building. And they said, "What are you doing?" He said, "It's in the contract. If you pull out for these reasons, I'm not paying you and I can bring new people in." And so it's that actions on. So you got to understand that about, this is just setting into context, you got to understand that about Trump. The guy is highly intelligent. I love it when people say he's stupid because he doesn't speak good or English, right?
And they can't have it both ways. He can't be an evil dictator,
an evil genius,
but also be stupid, like you're saying.
He is profoundly intelligent, and I know that really grates people. It really does. But he's not only, there's cunning and there's really intelligent, right?
Like he didn't write his book. He had someone do it for him.
He didn't write it.
But it's a different type of intelligence, and that's what you get from being in property over there, because it's a dog-eat-dog world.
You become a billionaire in New York property market? Give me a break.
Yeah, exactly.
So, context before I answer the question. The Big Don is an absolute champion. He plans meticulously. He executes ruthlessly, absolutely ruthlessly. Not without morals, but it's really clear. And so this is the entire way that he ran the presidency. And in answer to your question, what's he doing now or what's happening now, understand the Big Don. Nothing happens by accident. If he needs to pull back, he will. If he needs to move forward, he will. He can do a Napoleonic strategic maneuver if he wants to. But he's very, very careful. That's point number one. Point number two. The deep state is back in control, so they think. They are going to take him out. Imagine what he now knows. Do you think they're going to let this guy live?
Yeah.
Metaphorically or literally? Of course not. They are after him. That's why they have to impeach him. But it's not just to prevent him from becoming president again. They want him dead.
Yeah.
Physically dead. Because what he now knows, after 4 years of having the entire intelligence apparatus of the United States at his fingertips, he knows where every body is buried, literally, not metaphorically. He knows the bad guys, and they know he knows, and that's why they're panicking. So understand now, imagine this. You're a meticulous planner, you're a ruthless executioner, and you know everything that there is to know. What do you think they want to do to him? They want to take him out. What does he want to do? He wants to win. Don likes to win. He doesn't lose. So the fact that Biden's been inaugurated, it means nothing. Relax. The war continues, and Don isn't licking his wounds or anything else. Now, just to keep it in context again, he didn't turn up to Biden's inauguration.
Yeah.
That wasn't because he was being mean-spirited at all. When you understand they want him dead, and it's not just the Democrats, it's just not the deep state. It is China. It is Iran. There are a lot of bad actors out there, very bad people, that physically want to take him out.
Yeah.
So he left for the safety of himself and his family, because they know that they were targets. And there were, I'm not sure if this hit the mainstream media, probably not, there was an attempt on his life in the last week. And there were numerous over the course of the 4 years that never made the mainstream media. There were multiple attempts on his life. And so that was for safety reasons, because had he turned up, anything could have happened. And so he didn't. And so for his own safety. And from what I understand, he was in a very secure location, protected by his own people. And that was always, I got asked about that when he was first elected. You know, what about the Secret Service? Yeah, he had the Secret Service, but his own people too. And he doesn't trust anybody outside. And that makes sense. So I tell you all that story to tell you this next story. What's going to happen next? Okay, now, all of these scenarios, he's going to do this and become the speaker. Yeah, they're all This is like the QAnons with their conspiracy theories, and 1 and 1 equals 2, and 2 and 2 equals 4, and 4 and 2 equals 78.
In the Hebrew alphabet.
Yeah, here we go. And so that's all, and that's just fun.
Yeah.
But okay, so Don knows what he needs to do. Don's got the background. The best way, and listen to my words extremely carefully. Hold your horses. There's going to be a gamble. Hold your horses, there's going to be a gamble. And that's all I can say. Not that Trump gambles. He never gambles. He plans. But there's a gamble. And people who know what I'm talking about will know what I'm talking about. So just relax about Trump. He knows what he knows. They want him dead. It's a fight to the death. Do you really think that they will allow him and his family to just walk away and live their life? Does anybody really believe that? Of course not. No. They will not, in any way.
Yeah.
They'll destroy him as many ways as they can. Knowing that they're coming after you, what would you do? Have a think about it. Yeah. And then people will come up with their own conclusions. Oh, okay, if someone's coming after me, well, I've got to think about this and this and this, and what's the best defense, offense? Well, what do I do? And so just hold your horses. There's going to be a gamble. And so I'm not the least worried about Trump. I'm not the least worried about the longevity of the Biden administration. It might last a week, it might last 4 years. That's not the point. The point is, if you understand the man, and this is not about whether he starts a Patriot Party or whether he becomes the Speaker and then impeaches the President, the Vice President, and he's number 3. No. Understand the man, understand how this guy works, try to get to his level of thinking and understand the threats against him, stakeholder analysis, environmental analysis, and when you're looking at the players, you look at their strengths, their weaknesses, their needs, their wants, and their sensitivities. This is pretty basic strategic planning that we do. And if you look at it that way, you start to realize, okay, and this isn't conspiracy theory, just do the cold, rational analysis of the situation and the man, and you'll say, okay, I'm quite relaxed about the future. I am so relaxed about the future. Do I know what's going to happen? No. But I'm not the least bit concerned about the future of the US or the future of Donald Trump. Down the track, who knows? But now, the next move, this would have been thought of a long time ago, just like the SAS patrol. What's the grid reference? What's the grid reference? What's the timing? When are we? All that sort of stuff. That's all been just thought through. He's calm, he's rational, he's methodical, and he's highly intelligent. And I know that upsets a lot of people that want to hate him, Orange Man bad.
Yeah.
But he's got an IQ that would double yours, not you, but the people that criticise.
Probably. I don't know. It's a thing.
But not only intelligent, because there are a lot of intelligent people out there, but they're not practical.
No.
They're some of the smartest dumb people I've ever met.
Oh, they're dangerous.
Right. You know the type I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
But he's not only highly intelligent in that pure IQ sense, but he's also, there's the right word for it, but at this base level, he's smart. He's cunning. He knows how the bad guys think. Does that make sense?
Instinctive. I think that's the word. It's almost animalistic in a way.
It is. He knows how the bad guys think. It's not that he's not nasty, but he knows how they think, and he can anticipate their moods because he knows what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, it's not surprising, especially considering the fact that he actually was working with them for decades before. He was a Democrat before. He was rubbing shoulders with all of these people.
He knew what they were up to.
Look at the wedding photos. Who do you see him with? Oh, Hillary Clinton. Oh, Nancy Pelosi.
And he admitted it. He is a businessman. I'll donate to you. I'll donate to you. I'll donate to everybody. I make a buck. That's my job.
Exactly. And that's a funny thing because he knows how they think. He knows who's giving him contributions, and he knows it's not for nothing. So when you see the honest criminal calling all of this out, he reeks of transparency, and there's the word, transparency, and that's why he was successful. And that's why I don't have a problem with you swearing, because it's transparent.
Look, I am not the least bit concerned, and I was actually surprised at my own reaction. I'm watching the inauguration, and it was hard to stomach watching all the crims up there, and Lady Gaga singing the song saying we're back in control.
They wanted the American people as far away as possible. It was literally the ivory tower meeting together. That's the rulers of the country.
Yeah, thank goodness for COVID, because there would have been nobody turn up to the inauguration. And you saw where there were hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people at Trump's inauguration. They had rows and rows of flags. because nobody would have turned up. And they know that, and we know that, but they use the cover of COVID. But no, I watched it, and it was tough watching the criminals stand there, but it's a facade, it's fake, it's not real. But I was just surprisingly calm, and then the penny dropped, and I thought, oh, okay, now I know why I'm not worried. Not the least bit worried. I'm not worried about Q. I'm not worried about Trump. I'm not even worried about the US. It'll pan out the way it does. Now, having said that, back to your other point, that doesn't mean we sit back and do nothing. No. I've said it 1,000 times. Australia One's success will be predicated on what we do, and we don't predicate our plans on anybody else's promises. Either you're there with me or you're not, and if you're not, I'll see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about Australia and the future that is in store for us.